For our first homework assignment, we're going to look at reflections on the coordinate plane. So for our first one, which of the following points would be invariant if reflected over the y-axis? So invariant for us, that means unchanged. And we want to go over the y-axis. So if we remember, our rule for reflection in the y-axis is xy turns into negative x, y. So the coordinate of the x is going to change. So if we look at all our choices, we have 9, 0, 8, 8, 0, negative 4, and negative 2, negative 2. The point that's going to be invariant is going to be choice C, because when you change the sign of that 0, you still end up with 0. So that point will remain unchanged. We're also looking at the one that lands on the y-axis, because if you have a point on the axis that you are reflecting over or on the line you're reflecting over, that point is never going to change. Determine the coordinates of k prime, the image of point k, negative 16, 32, after reflection over y equals x. Y equals x gives us x comma y goes to y comma x. So the order of our coordinates is going to change. So in that case, k prime is going to be not negative. It's going to be 32 comma negative 16. We're just going to take the order of that point and we are going to flip it. For the third one, if point H is located in quadrant 1, then what quadrant would H prime, the image of H after reflection over the x-axis, be located in? The best thing you can do is draw a little graph, pick a spot for point H. Here's our x-axis. So if we are going to reflect H over that, we're going to count down again. There's going to be our new point, H prime, and that's going to be in our fourth quadrant. For number 4, we're going to take a second here and we have to plot some points. So on the axes below, plot the points 3, 3, 6, negative 1, and 4, 7. So we're going to go 3, 3, 6, negative 1, and 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to do our best here to connect those with the line. So those are going to be our 3 points. And now we want to reflect that over the line y equals 0. Y equals 0 is one that tends to confuse everybody. They see the y part and they think it's a vertical line. But y equals 0 is really just fancy for the x-axis. So we're going to reflect that over the x-axis and we'll see that it's actually going to land partially on top of itself. Got to move a little bit there. So if we reflect point I, well, how do we get to the x-axis? We have to count down 1, 2, 3. So we're going to count down 1, 2, 3. Again, there's going to be I prime. For point C, we have to count up 1. So we're going to count up 1 again. And there's C prime. And then for point E, we have to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. And there's going to be E prime. And we'll connect all of those the same way. If it starts as a triangle, it needs to stay as a triangle. And there's going to be our triangle reflected over the x-axis. It wants us to describe this transformation. And we're going to describe this as an opposite isometry. And the reason we're going to describe it that way is because if you look at the orientation going in the original triangle is going to be counterclockwise. And the orientation in our new triangle is going to be clockwise. So the shape remains equal or congruent, there's our isometry piece, but it's going to be an opposite isometry because the orientation is going to change. Number 5, state the coordinates of the image of P, 3, 8, after reflection over the line y equals 2. Now, normally these are a lot easier if we have a graph, but we're going to kind of just estimate things a little bit here. The point 3, 8 would be somewhere around here, and then the line y equals 2 is a horizontal line, and it's going to be 2 units above the x-axis. So if P is 3, 8, and we're reflecting over the line y equals 2, well, we've got to go down 6. So then we have to go down 6 units from there again, and that is going to give us our point P prime. The x-coordinate's not going to change, and that 8 is going to turn into a -4. So we'll be at the coordinates 3, -4 for that one. Number 6, state the coordinates of the image of M, -2, 6, after reflection over the line x equals 8. So again, we'll estimate where -2, 6 is. Same deal. X equals seems like a horizontal line because the x-axis is, but x equals 8 is actually a vertical line. And we're going to do the same process that we just did. We're going to count till we get to that line. So to get from an x value of -2 to an x value of 8, we have to count 10 spaces. So then to get to our new point, we have to count 10 spaces again to get to, not P, we're talking about M in this problem. So to get to M prime, we count over 10, we count over 10 again, and we end up with the coordinates of 18, 6. So it was 10 units to get from -2 to 8, so then another 10 units to get from 8 over to 18, 6. And that's going to be all of our homework for lesson 1.